Hey guys, welcome to Feature Creatures DTF. I am your host, one half of your host, Jordana, and with me as always is my partner in crime, Sam.
Hello, Jordana. How are you doing today?
Good evening, Sam. I am so happy.
I don't know why I sounded so formal on that. Like, hello, madame.
Hello and welcome to the show. It's Friday. So hell yeah, TGIF, friend.
Hmm.
Um, how was your Friday?
You know how my Friday was. That was a loaded question
It
right out the
was, but
gate.
I had to do it because I am literally dying to just have everyone know what you did today.
Okay. So, I was conscripted
Hmm.
into going to see the Wicked movie.
Mm.
I knew it was coming all week long. Sort of dreaded
Yeah,
it.
I feel that.
My dad likes the musical, so and so does Deanna.
Hmm.
So they both wanted to go. So I'm like, well, I can't say no. So I went. And this is not a shot at. I know there's people who are friends of ours who deeply, deeply love it.
Yes.
I did not.
Well, I know that we're gonna talk about obviously movies that we've been watching and other deets like that, but what was like the one thing that made it just like somewhat unbearable, that just like did not get you to that threshold of like somewhat enjoying it?
I mean, it's fucking almost 3 hours long.
Insanity. That is beyond
And the
insanity.
play is like 2 hours and 40 minutes
Hmm.
ish. So I'm like, why do we need? I mean, I know what the answer is: money.
Yeah, of course.
Um, so it's just so fucking long. I actually like. So I was not a fan of musicals until I met Deanna.
Hmm.
And at that, she is obsessed with them.
Love it.
Um, she like watches them a lot, but listens to them constantly. So I'm
Oh.
very familiar with the soundtrack.
Hmm.
Um, I'll be honest, and this will make Wicked people's heads blow up.
Yeah.
As far as the music in Wicked goes, to me, it's kind of just like a meh one. Like it doesn't, like
Hmm. You like?
if you were to throw on Greatest Showman, I'll sing every fucking word.
I love it.
Like that's great. There's one she lists. Be More Chill is like this really weird one, like about like a teenager who gets like a microchip in his brain that makes him cool. Really,
Oh,
I love that one.
okay.
There's this one about DJ Ripples chiming in.
Yes.
There's like this Odyssey inspired one that's really good. Like I like some of them,
Yeah.
but the music is just kind of eh. I find it strange that we're casting almost 40-year-old people to play women in, like, I know it's fantasy, but like it's basically college. Like they're supposed like
That's like the biggest.
oh, I'm learning who I am at 37 years old.
Let me put my retinol on. I know that's what kills me is I'm like I'm trying to understand because I'm not huge into musicals. I guess I just don't know a lot about them. I'm sure I would enjoy them if I actually went to them and I knew of them. Like I know like Mean Girls is the musical, Lion King, all that stuff. But like I don't know too much of it. But that was the biggest kicker for me is why the hell are they putting in these women who are much older than the characters they're trying to be? Strange. And I don't like
I
Ariana
mean,
Grande.
I get Ariana. She's a little younger. I think she's like 31,
Hmm.
but still, I think she's long said, I guess, is that like her dream is to play this character. So I think that they're playing off that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just all in all, I honestly was just like, it didn't, because again, I've never seen the play. I've only heard the fucking record 5 million times.
Hmm.
So they sort of filled in the pieces of like what was happening,
Yep.
and what was happening to me was unbearable at times. There's a 15-minute segment in the fucking play or the movie about her hat.
Oh Jesus!
Like,
I would have walked
I'm
out.
like, I was like, oh my god, I'm like, I get it. We all know she wears the pointy fucked up hat. Like, but let's really dive into it. I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
Pointy hat in your face.
Oh,
Pointy hat in your face.
can I tell you when I knew I was in trouble though with the movie?
Hmm.
The opening
Oh
scene.
no.
I mean, the opening shot of the movie. It's spoiler alert for Wicked if you are interested. Skip ahead
Yep.
about 5
Yep.
minutes. it's the also, what am I about to? I'm about to spoil. Actually, I just realized it's not even a spoiler for Wicked. It's a spoiler for The Wizard of Oz, which I think has a moratorium on its fucking spoiler ability, like over 100 years. It opens on the her as a puddle from The Wizard of Oz and the hat just sitting there.
Got it.
But the fucking hat is CGI. I'm like, you had to CGI a hat in? You couldn't just put a fucking hat there?
Our hype is Nosferatu. Like, we're
Oh.
all so fucking pumped for that movie.
Dude, do you know how much it like? Because even like, because my dad and my family, they all know, like, you know, that he's just going with us to be nice.
Yes.
But like, they even brought it up. They're like, oh, there's a movie called Werewolves up there. That seems like a you movie. I'm like, you know how much it hurts me right now to not be seeing werewolves? And I'm like, there's werewolves and there's Night Bitch right there.
Yeah.
2 movies I would love to see.
And I'm watching puddles with CGI hats.
Yes. Yeah. And
But that just shows that you're a good son and you're a good fiance to do, because that's what people do. They do things that they don't want to do for love, and you are a great example of that. So at least there's a good deed in suffering.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine. I mean, like, it wasn't like, it was so, if it was an hour and a half, I'd be so much more okay with it.
Yeah.
But like, being almost 3 hours, I was like, oh, and like, audibly, I did get a laugh out of my entire row, because as soon as it ended, I mean, I'm waiting. I'm like, all right, I can feel it. This is the big moment.
Yeah.
They're about to cut to black or whatever. And as soon as it fucking said to be continued, I went, thank God. And I stood up and immediately.
Yes. I love that you did that. Wait, to be continued?
Yeah, that's the thing that I heard a lot of people were kind of pissed off on opening night. This is a 2-part movie. So next year, same time, that's why a lot of people are a little upset, is that the play's 2 hour and 40 minutes. So why does it need to be 2 separate 3-hour long movies? That doesn't make any fucking sense.
God, and then we have to like watch the press promos of Ariana Grande crying about every goddamn thing. Oh my God, I cannot.
Oh, the way they're all the way they act like they're like best friends and like oh, we're so cool.
I got my whatever, but like, and I saw her today on Drew Barrymore, and she's like, I just want to say that I can't, like, you, just her bullshit, and then like the fake tears in the face, and I'm like, dude, just stop. Like,
I don't like Ariana Grande. I think that's also part of it. I
can't stand her. I think she's just such a like horrible human. I don't know. I don't like her.
I think she's very fake. Other than that, though, that's what I've been doing with my that's my most recent movie viewing, I should say. Jordana, what have you been up to? What's been going on in your life, and what have you been watching?
Well, retail has taken over my life, and again, for the people who work retail, I love you. I feel your pain. And because I worked my first Black Friday since like 2012. Woof is all I have to say. Woof. And I almost like knocked out this fucking twat waffle who does not, long story short, like, the tart package came prepackaged with 4 things, but then they just assumed they could go get 4 tart lip things for the price. And then when I told them that was not it, the girl started to swear. Why the fuck would you blah, blah, blah? And I was like, bitch, like, you are my second person to ring up. I wanted to punch her so hard in her stupid face. And I was like, I don't know about this. Exactly, Ripley. Exactly. I don't know. We watched Smile 2. I'm trying to think of like recent stuff that I watched. The Forest Hills.
I saw you post that, and I was so like interested in that because I hadn't heard anything.
Yeah.
And then you posted like the poster of it, and I was like, this looks fucking cool. So how was it?
It was good. I honestly really liked the movie. I liked the premise. There was so many layers to it, and I kind of like read reviews beforehand just to see, because I was speaking to the director, Scott Goldberg, and he was like, oh, it's getting like semi-mixed reviews, not like the best. And I was reading, and a lot of people said that they didn't understand it, but it's layered. Mental health, a huge play in that. Really cool effects. Furlong, the late Shelley Duvall, rest in
It's
peace.
her last movie, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. Felissa Rose was in it. Rico, which is like, I can't think of his last name, but I will call him Rico. He was the lead character and he did a phenomenal job. Like a lot of physical work in the movie, like being half naked in a river, just a lot. But I really enjoyed it for an independent film. I think they did really good. I cannot wait to talk about Jeremy. Honestly, I still think about that episode. I fucking died, and the one part that I fucking died about.
Oh, so, and we'll get there because
Yes.
I did want to. So you also said you watched Smile.
Smile too, yes.
And I am a little annoyed with the horror community right now,
As you should,
because I have waited to see the movie. Didn't get a chance to see it in theaters.
Yep.
Can't see every movie in theaters, you know?
Yeah, you can't.
And I think that there's a reasonable moratorium on spoilers that should be given. And I think maybe at least I'd say a week after it hits streaming so that everybody has an opportunity to see it. So clearly what happened is it was released on Paramount Plus or Paramount, whatever the fuck it is, at noon.
Okay.
And somebody watched it and then posted the entirety of the coolest, most penultimate scene immediately on the screen. And so I'll set the scene here for how upset I was, and whatever. We have no shame here,
no, at all.
9 a.m. I'm sitting on the toilet.
Yeah,
I'm scrolling, and I see something that looks kind of cool. I'm like, oh, what is this? And before I know it, I have seen the literal ending of the movie, and I'm like, you fucking asshole. So this is just an announcement I want to make to all the pages out there. Fucking label your shit spoilers or whatever. Or how about this? Don't be so goddamn click hungry for likes that you have to post it the second your fucking eyeballs land on it. You fucking assholes.
Okay.
Anyway.
So with your point, you know that I fucking love Terrifier, right? I have not posted a scene from 3 yet, just because it is new and I still don't know who has seen it and who has not seen it. And that's just like the respect that you give. Also, too, if you want to be click happy, right? Don't show the ending. Like, show a scene that doesn't really have too much anything, really. Or maybe like a jump scare that, whatever. But just important parts, don't include those. Or like you said, which is super simple, just put a fucking spoilers ahead. Smile 2 2024 ending, something so you at least you know what the fuck you're looking at. And it pisses me off, but again, Sam, there are so many fucking idiots out there that should not have cell phones in their hands.
Oh, I agree. I mean, it's just I think about, like, you know, obviously technology has made our lives better in so many ways, but for movies, it has really fucking destroyed a lot of them. Like, I think about it, like, if people like that were around or we had social media, like, think about how many times you had to wait when you saw Jaws to see the fucking shark, right? You had to wait and build the anticipation. Imagine if you were just fucking sitting on the toilet and you're like, "Oh, there's a shark. Looks kind of dumb."
I would have been. I would have been so mad. Like, I hate that shit. I hate when people ruin shit right away. I hate when people drop who the killer is when it comes to like Scream like movies. I hate it. And I get it because some people want to, it makes them feel like they're important to know that information, which is fine. Like, if it makes you feel happy and good and warm and tingly inside, like, whatever. But don't remove that from other people. And like,
don't make the choice for other people.
Thank you. And like,
if you want, like, again, you want to have a podcast, you want to talk about it with people, or, you know, and do things like what we're doing. I understand that totally, but just don't make the choice for someone else. Like, just because, you know, they're following you, like, they want to support, like, I follow people and I'm like, I want to support you because you guys are in the community and, you know, you want to, you know, we all support each other. But then I'm also, sometimes I'm like, not everybody in this community is fucking smart.
No, they're not. Or
some of them are fucking dumb. I'm sorry.
And also too, you have to dumb, yes. And also, like, just inconsiderate. Like, they don't give a fuck. They just assume like everyone rushes to the theaters, you know, and gets to see it opening day. And that's not the case. People have lives. People can't afford it. there's so many factors of it, and it's like, have some compassion and have some, like, I don't know, it's just, it's weird to me.
Ha- I think there's a, I know we're playing psychiatrist here, but I think to some people it's like it's a me thing, which social media is obviously very like
Yeah.
selfish, and I think it's like, well, I've seen it now, so I need to get, now that's all that matters. I think fuck it, like, and I'll just post whatever I want,
Mhm.
and fuck everything. They don't even think that they're like possibly ruining it for someone else because they've already experienced, and it's whatever. It's just annoying. It's a thing that will never go away on the internet. There's always going to be morons posting
Yep.
spoilers, but like, here's like a PSA, and I'm going to clip
Yeah.
this for everyone in the movie community. Sometimes just shut the fuck up. How
Simple,
about that?
simple, just do it.
Like, just you want to say something, you want to give out a spoiler? How about shut the fuck up?
Just don't do
Just
it.
saying. Just try it out.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing. The world would be a better place, would it? I don't know, but just try it.
I get so many people angry about that.
I know they're gonna be like, fuck those guys. But can I follow up with some really good news?
Absolutely. Let's get some positive news in here.
Okay. So I just found a video, which is weird because I speak to Lupus from Bloodhound Gang, and he hasn't really posted too much. He posted like a little teaser, but officially from Evil Jared's mouth, Bloodhound Gang is motherfucker back.
Yes, and you sent me the video, and I'm like, again, I can't. And on one hand, in the movie world, I think you're the Terrifier queen. On the music side, I think you are the Bloodhound queen. So
Mhm.
I can only imagine how thrilled you are.
I feel like, Sam, I'm like, I manifested it. I have literally, like, in my brain, I'm like, wow, Bloodhound Gang just need, and I thought about it too, that maybe they're not doing a new album. Maybe they're doing like the 25th anniversary of Hooray for Movies and like the Bad
Could
Touch,
be.
because it's right around the time that a lot of stuff in like the early 2000s is hitting like a 20th or 25th anniversary.
Nostalgia tours are like really big right now for people
Yes.
our age.
Hmm.
Like, so I could easily see that happening. Just because, you know, I recently heard, which I kind of thought was an interesting perspective. I'm not super into this band, but
Hmm.
All American Rejects. I was watching an interview with them for some
Yep.
reason, and they're like, you still tour all the time, but they're like, you haven't made an album in like 11 years. Why? And they're like, because nobody wants to hear this. Like
Yeah.
like they want to hear the first 3 albums. That's all they want to hear, and we'll give it to them. And I'm like, it's kind of a nice. I'm like, it's kind of refreshing,
Yeah.
because it's like I remember like I went to a Rolling Stones concert with my dad one time, or no, I'm sorry, no, whatever. I went to a Rolling Stones concert, um, and we're like, you'd be like, every song,
Yep.
and then all of a sudden, like, you'd be like, what the fuck is this shit? And they're like, and, oh, this is from their new album. It's like, nobody fucking play Paint It Black. What are you doing?
Exactly.
Like,
Give us the hits. Like, no one cares about the
yeah,
new shit. And I feel that, but there's a lot of bands that can do that. There's so many bands, like,
yes,
there, I don't know if you know the band personally, but there's a band called Ween.
yeah.
Yes. And they have,
You've sent me their their fucking music before.
yes. Well, okay, yes, I have. But they haven't released an album since like the 90s, but people go see them and like their tours almost sell out, and they like every year they go on tour, and it's like still just crazy off of the 4 5 albums that they have, because that's how good, their music is to people. And I just feel like this is just going to be a rejuvenation of them. And even if it is new music, cool, but like I just hope they come back with all the hits. So,
Yeah, and it could. I mean, on the flip side, like, even though they your boy Jared hit him a little bit, which fine, that's their thing.
yep.
I do love Linkin Park. I've been one of my
Yes.
favorites, and I love the new Linkin Park as
Mm-hmm.
well. I know it's
Con-
fans are like 50 on it, but
yeah.
whatever. I like it, but like, it could be like that. They came back, they still play the old shit, but they're like, we're also doing new shit, and I like the new shit too. So it could be that.
Yeah. I'm hope whatever it is, even if they like literally just read like a recipe book or like a dictionary, I would still be so excited. And I found a shirt on their site, and it said I love Jimmy Pop, and I'm so buying that before I go to the shirt or to the show, hoping that I go to a
That's
show.
awesome.
I'm so excited.
Oh, I have news for
What?
you.
Tell me.
In the music world,
Yes.
I have finally bought tickets to an event for the first time since COVID.
I am so excited for you. Now, what band or who are you going to see?
Okay, so probably a band that I'm going to just guess that you probably haven't heard
Okay.
of, but maybe you have. They're called Amel and the Sniffers.
Nope. But it sounds
They're
interesting.
they're like, if I used Spotify, they would be like my Wrapped #1 of the year by far.
Yep.
They're an Australian punk slash groove garage rock band. I don't really know how to explain it,
Ooh.
but the lead singer, I if we ever do another music episode, I'm gonna have to. She has the Speaking of the Stones, she has the most stage presence and chaotic energy I've ever seen on stage since Mick Jagger, and
Oh,
she's awesome.
I love
And
that.
I'm half in love with her.
Yes.
But I believe they toured with the Foo Fighters once in America, and I missed that.
Yeah.
They opened for them, and I was like, if they ever come back to America, I'm gonna fucking go. And they're doing a headlining tour, and I'm like, fuck it, let's go. I'm in. I bought 2 tickets. I'm like, let's go.
I love that for you so much. And okay, so tickets. I'm seeing like another rupture of upset music fans wanting to go to a concert and watching the prices literally in front of their eyes while they're buying their tickets go from what is in their cart to like
Oh yeah.
$200 because Kendrick Lamar said that he was going on tour the
Yep.
day before. That's the other thing too. I saw not to like, I mean, we are known for our tangents, but just to go off of your concert talking, which I'm still
Mhm.
so excited that you're going to a concert. But like he announced the day before that he's releasing tickets. Like people need to plan for this. Like people need to scout out what dates they're going to go to, like what city they're coming to, what's close.
And budget for it, so you maybe pick up some extra hours or whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. And also too, like that's cool. I mean, I know that he can't really determine like when he's going to like go on tour because I know he just released his album, but like it's around the holidays. Who the fuck's gonna drop thousands of dollars on like? And also, it's not that people have to feel that way and feel guilty about wanting to do something for themselves at a time where it's like we're supposed to be giving to like like your friends, family, and loved ones. I just think it's shitty, and I think it's again like why are we not buckling down on concert ticket prices and the way that these fucking people are robbing people? It's so bizarre to me that no one stopped it.
I mean, I'm with you. I think that concert tickets and live event tickets are just astronomical. On top of the fact that they bend you over with parking and
Fees.
food and drink is like it's just crazy. And I mean, that being said, the Kendrick Lamar thing, I do have to sort of chuckle about because I don't listen to Kendrick,
Mhm.
but like the way it was alerted to me was a TikTok or something that was I think went viral of a girl being
Crying.
like literally crying and being like $125, and I was like, and the one I saw was
For
it was
nosebleeds.
like a what was that?
For nosebleeds.
Yeah, for nosebleeds,
Mhm.
but like the way I saw it was as it was from a wrestling page, and the wrestling page was like wrestling fans like looking at that being like, you fucking have it easy, because if you if you look up how much WrestleMania or the Royal Rumble tickets are, it would fucking put Kendrick to shame.
And that's crazy to me too. I looked up tickets for the Buffalo Bills because I was like, well, fuck it. Let's like upcoming games. Let's see how much they would be. And of course, I found like decent ones, like right behind the field goal, and it was like
Mhm.
right level with the field. Really good seats, and it was only 100 and something a piece.
I'm one because again, Bills are doing great, so
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
good. But I wonder, because I mean, I feel like for me personally, I've never been to a Bears game live because it's fucking cold during the football season.
Yes.
So like, I'm wondering if like maybe that affects the Bills because maybe they can't get. Then again, I see your guys' fans on the internet, so they're all fucking out of their minds. So
crazy.
what am I saying? They don't care about the cold.
They love like the one time it was snowing that people were throwing the snow. Like I think everyone, I mean, who obviously of age or close to age are wasted, so they probably don't even feel their fucking face or their bodies because they're so inebriated. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I would rather go when it's not snowing, and I don't want to go when I have to spend upwards of like hundreds of dollars to go. It's just it's blasphemous. It's absolutely insane. But yes, we do have to do a music episode soon because I am hyper obsessed with one artist and I just think that she is the coolest thing since sliced bread. And I know that you're not like the biggest hip hop person, but this girl, like, she's doing something for hip hop.
Who? Just shout it out.
Dochi. I am obsessed. And you just brought up your Spotify rap to show how obsessed I am. My Apple and her EP hasn't, not technically an EP, it's a mixtape, but she's nominated for Grammys because of this mixtape. Because so she's, little backstory to her real quick. She was a singer and she's known for like her singing capabilities, but her rapping skills and her lyrics and just how literate she is, like the things that she puts together, I can't even fathom that someone is as talented as she is. It's just crazy.
I'll have to check her out. I don't know what this says about me, and maybe this is not a good thing. Maybe it is. I don't know.
Okay.
But I think it's the same thing as my dad, so I don't know if it just runs in the family. But I think I've gotten to this weird age where either one of two things is happening.
Okay.
Almost every, with the exception of like one or two, every new musical act that I have introduced into my life that I like a lot lately, say over the past couple of years, has been like, it's been all women.
I love that.
And I don't know what that says about me. I think there is something about me that thinks like, oh, that's a strong, badass woman. And I'm just like, I'm either attracted to that, not even maybe like, not sexually, but like just like energy.
Their embodiment of like how confident they are.
I think that's probably what it is, but like, so that's why I'm kind of interested in this, because like, if I literally were to like list like of the last 5 years, artists that I have just fallen in love with, brand, I think like there's not many. There's, because I'm old and I listen to the same shit over and over again. But like of like the 7 that I've introduced over the last 5 years, I think 5 of them are all women. Like,
and I love that,
so,
and that says a lot.
Yeah.
But like, she's, you know how much I love Queen Herbie. Like, I think she's phenomenal, but like Rosalind will hear some stuff. She's like, is that Queen? I'm like, no, it's Doechii. She just has like, it sounds like good hip hop music. And I know that sounds like bad to say, but I think a lot of the newer rap and hip hop artists, I don't like them. I don't like the style. I don't like the lyrical parts of it. I liked before when you would listen to like Outkast or even Jay-Z, for example, and there was like, I don't even want to say a story, but at least there was like cohesion, and like, it was either like a party song or there was like a song about something. You know what I mean? Like that had like a meaning.
I agree. And I also 100% like, I feel like a lot of them don't have meaning. And I saw a clip, and I don't listen to Tyler the Creator, but Tyler the Creator, I thought,
love him.
I thought he laid this out very well. He's like, I don't like hip hop music anymore. He goes, because when I was coming up, everybody sounded different. You know, the East Coast had its style, the West Coast had its style.
Yes.
You know, the Southern rap had its style. Everybody had like a different, you know, there was different. And he said everyone now feels homogenized. Like all of the music feels the same and sound, or not all of it, but you know, he started listing artists, and he's like, back in my day, he's like, you know, Dre sounded completely different from, you know, Snoop, and Snoop sounded completely different from Gotti, and he just went on the line. And I kind of feel that, like,
it's so true.
Like, can I tell you, like, have you heard, like, to me, and I'm like, this is one of the musical artists that I've introduced that is a man. Have you heard the song that's kind of gone viral? It's the Indian rapper Hanuman Kind, I think his name is. It's the one who's, it's like, I am not a performer, but fuck it,
please,
boys, you're about to hear a white boy rap an Indian song. But it's the it's the one that's like, big step, 10 toes in, and we standing on business.
Yes, I have heard him. Yes.
That's his big hit right now. But I'm like, part of the reason why I'm digging it is because I'm like, you know what? It's got like it has like a flair of like of his Indian culture, obviously, to it. And I'm like, it fucking sounds different, and I dig it.
I love that. I want to check him out more. But like, I love Tyler the Creator too, because he does not give a fuck who he offends, and he says it just like it is. And I can't remember exact, but one of the years he got nominated for a Grammy and he won, and he was like, oh, like, I just feel like they kind of like put, like, why do I have to be in a rap category? Can't my music be pop? They're just putting me in here because I'm black. You know what I mean? And he fucking went off, but he just made such valid points, and I'm like, ooh, go off, please, Tyler. And then,
He seems like a really smart dude from what I've seen.
mhm,
And I've also heard that his music is because I will be
yeah,
honest, the only fucking song that I know of him, which someone played it for me, and I was like, "What the fuck is
yeah, because
this?"
yeah,
And it was the one where, and I will have to edit this out because this lyric will get us fucking kicked off YouTube. But it's the one that says like, I think it says "fuck school, kill people, burn shit." Fuck school, kill people, burn shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like,
well, like his first song, Yonkers, it's like talking about suicide and all this stuff, but like he's so different. And his new album came out, and he does a song with Doechii called Balloon that I fucking love. And then Sticky, that's like the big hit that's out now that he did, and I love it. I'm happy to see Tyler, and I'm happy to see Doechii kind of like in this movement, and everyone doubted Doechii. They're like, rap, like prove it. And she's like, I don't have to. And then finally she's like, fuck it. And she literally did this mixtape. She calls it a mixtape, but it's like 20 something songs in less than a month. And she did it all herself, and it's literally from start to finish, Sam, it's perfection. I turn it on and I'm just like, I'm so like in it. It just speaks to my
I,
soul. I love it.
you're gonna have to send me a link
I will.
because I will definitely add that to the listen for work tomorrow.
Yes. She did Tiny Desk
And I will.
today. The NPR, the little Tiny Desk shows that they do for like rap artists and stuff where they go
Yeah.
in. She did hers today.
Oh, okay.
So
Cool.
tomorrow night, my friends we're going to go to like the lights on the lake. Like we have like this little thing where they set up really cute, like the Wizard of Oz and sports themes, and you go past all these Christmas setups, and then we're gonna watch Tiny Desk together because we both love Doechii.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll be a nice little night.
Yes, I'm excited.
Okay, so you alluded to it earlier. Creed tapes. Yeah.
Creed,
With
stop
arms wide open.
Could you imagine?
Which by the way, I I am not ashamed to admit it.
Would you go to a Creed show?
Still own all those albums, and they are in my CD book, and they do get played.
I fucking love Creed, and also like since they're on tour, I would totally scalp a ticket or like buy a nosebleeds just to go say that I saw Creed. Fuck it.
I would love. I see, like, 'cause they're obviously kind of riding that nostalgia wave right now.
Mhm.
And I feel like them and Nickelback are like like when the internet hates you for so long,
Mhm.
that rubber band is snapping back the other way, and they are just riding it right now.
And I'm so happy to be at the receiving end and the giving end because
Yeah.
I loved them when they came out, and I really just I don't care what anyone says. Yeah, they're trash rock, but I fucked like Lit. Who else? I love them, and I'm happy that
Like three, I would put like Three Doors Down in that group,
Puddle of Mud.
Puddle of Mud. Like, I believe the internet refers to these as butt rock bands. But
Fucking right, but give me
I'm digging them. Whatever.
give me like a 5-band lineup. I will go to Butt Rock. Seriously,
Butt Rock Fest.
I would love it.
That would be great if they're like they just accepted it. They're like Butt Rock Nation. Let's go.
Let's do it. That would be amazing. But the creep tapes, yes.
Not the creep tapes. Creep tapes.
Peach Fuzz back in 30-minute increments, and I love that we are divided because I was concerned. I'm like, which way is this gonna go? Like, is it gonna be cool in 30-minute increments? Is it not gonna be cool? I enjoy it, but let's discuss. Let's dive into it.
Well, I want to preface here for the listeners here. Jordana and I are both gigantic fans
Huge.
of Creep 1 and 2.
Mhm.
It's by far my favorite found footage movie. It would be 2.
Yeah.
I think 2 is better than 1,
Yes.
but I love them both
Mhm.
like very much. Can't have 2 without 1,
No.
or 1 without 2.
Absolutely. But remember the night that you're like, you need to watch Creep 2. Watched it as soon as it ended. I told Sam, I'm like, I'm watching it again. And I literally poured another glass of wine because I was doing my nails, and I watched it 2 times in a row.
Yes.
So good.
So we're gigantic fans. So this is something that was hot on our radar.
Mhm.
Going in with the highest expectations for both of us. And I will say, I am absolutely not a fan of the the series and the TVification, I'm making up words, of franchises. I hate it. I hate it when they announce like, oh, there's gonna be Crystal Lake fucking Friday the 13th, 13 episode. I just give me a movie. Just give me a fucking movie.
Right.
But in this scenario,
Mhm.
because of what was put into the first two movies, and you see the shelf with all the fucking tapes on it, it fits the narrative of the movies.
Yes.
So I was like, I'm fine with this. So I'm not going in hating on it for being a TV show like I do with a lot of things. That being said, I am largely not a fan.
And that's complete. It's okay to not like it, and it's okay. It does not take away your creep card. It does not make it any. I'm glad that you're being honest, because a lot of people aren't about things that they don't like.
I do think that sometimes the internet just, oh, people like this, I'll just say I like it just so
Right.
I can be with them. But and the thing is, I watched every episode.
Mhm.
I will watch every episode
Mhm.
because I want to support Mark. And I hope that maybe if this is successful, maybe we will get Creep 3
Yes.
in an official capacity.
Yes.
But what I found is, and I saw, and I thought this was great. It's actually your friend that you met at wasn't it Annie? Annie Loves Horror
Yes.
or whatever.
Yep.
I believe she posted, and what I thought was so interesting when I watched it is that her and me are 100% flipped, which is an interesting thought. But she said she could not, and I'm going to paraphrase,
Yes.
but her video she posted saying that she doesn't like Creep 1 and 2 because she finds them to be too long and too boring.
Yes.
So the 30-minute increments work for her.
Mhm.
Now, on the flip side is me. I love how deep and it takes its time in the movies. You really get to feel the uneasy relationship building
Mhm.
in those movies, and just the tension,
Yes.
as opposed to in these, I mean, you only got 30 minutes, so you
just get him
you
as
got-
he is.
you just kind of get, it's more of an on the surface creep.
Yes.
It's more of an on the surface kind of thing as opposed to like a deeper thing, and it just doesn't hit as well with me. Like, I don't feel, it kind of just feels like a random serial killer as opposed to what I'm used to with the Creeper.
Exactly. Yes.
Your thoughts?
And that's a great way to put it. That is actually a fantastic way to put it, because I feel like when you watch these, it's just like right when he's starting to crack, and then obviously like he tries to keep them reeled in, and you see that, and then eventually you get, the end game, which is, another one on the shelf. For me, I just I don't know, just how you see so much of his craziness and his quirkiness in these 30-minute videos. I think that's what, because as like the first episode that Greg and I watched, I was fucking dying in the first couple minutes, because he's just, oh, it was the snow one. Who was, I can't think of his name, but just, I can't think of his name. Just the way that he introduced himself, and then it was crazy, and then they did the shot in the snow, and he's chasing him with the axe. I fucking loved it. And then 2 was the skydiver,
The skydiver one,
the bird hunter, or the bird watching one.
I've had enough skydiving horror this week, so between that and watching fucking VHS Beyond, which that's a whole nother fucking discussion.
You did not like it?
I lividly hated it.
Oh,
Like,
that's I love that.
Truthfully despised it.
Okay, I love that.
And then when I found out who made it, I was even more angry, because I was like, well, maybe because I never really looked into the VHS tapes, like who makes them and whatnot. I'm like, oh, it must be like, this is clearly like low budget indie fucking guys making it. No,
Mike Flanagan, Justin Long.
It's like the biggest guys in horror.
Kate Siegel.
Like, this is the shit you pop out. One of them isn't even about a goddamn alien. And what are we doing?
Okay, so that's funny.
You can't have an anthology about aliens and then be like, well, one of them's not about aliens. Fuck you. Then call it something else. All right.
I know. Okay, that's funny, because I'm like, wait a second. Is it supposed to be alien based because it's VHS Beyond, right? Okay.
And the whole narrative, like the framing device is about aliens.
True. Oh my God, you're right. See, I liked the first one. I thought that was very video game style. Like, I really liked how it was like the sequences of them going from room to room, and then like the weird bird.
it was the best of them, I thought. And like, yeah, the feeder thing.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, I could, zombies,
Yeah.
like I was like, all right with that. Then we got to the fucking, by the
I like
time we
that one
got
though.
to,
The skydiving one. I did like that one.
yeah, I mean, I see the skydiving one. I couldn't stand because I was like, okay, this will be an interesting movie if it's like all takes place
In the plane.
on or on the plane or in the air,
Yep.
but then it immediately just becomes like a shitty low budget fucking, where a
Cloverfield.
PS2 monster is chasing them around.
I know.
I despise Justin Long's one about the fucking animals, which also pissed me off because again, in my head, I'm like, okay, so where's the alien coming? Where's the alien coming? And then I'm like, nope, just crazy old ladies. Okay.
And people being dogs. Yeah, that one, that was not, I didn't really care for that one, which, I mean, it is what it is, but I really liked the
And
first
then
two.
the one where the one where it was, I think it took place in like, and again, I think it was India where like oh yeah, Bollywood. It was Bollywood
Yep.
where the Bollywood star turns out to be a robot.
Yes, that one.
I
That
It was okay.
hmm But again, I feel like it's very, I think that the horror genre is very heavily relying on like concerts and like stars. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
actual like movie stars, singers in movies like Maxine, fucking Trap, Smile 2. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of heavy characters within characters.
Celebrity influence. Yeah.
So I feel like it's just kind of like overdone in such a short amount of time. So I feel that, but I didn't I didn't hate it. I thought it was like I watched it. I mean, I got extremely baked and watched it, so maybe that helped the whole thing.
I was drunk on my birthday
Hmm.
when I watched it,
Oh,
so maybe I was just not in the right mood or something. But I was like, I cannot believe how much I dislike this. And then and then, I will say, and then they throw a curveball at me, like an influence, whatever, a YouTuber that I've watched for like 7 years was the star of the final movie,
yeah,
the blonde girl in the last clip with the where she keeps getting like regenerated.
yep.
And I was like, oh well, I like her. Like weird that they cast her, but then I was like, but fuck, story sucks.
I'm like,
So
what's the point? Why are you even here? I feel
yeah.
that.
But anyway, that's a tangent. I was not a fan. And again, I when I looked up who the people who made it, I was like, shame on you.
You're like, God
Anyway,
damn it.
I just was like, I'm like, I clearly they pump these out every year, so they're not putting that much time and effort into them.
Yeah.
But it's sort of like I'm like, I don't know. If I was like Mike Flanagan, I'd be like, man, I gotta use a pen name or something. Like this is beneath me.
It's
Like,
crazy to me because I was expecting a lot more. Not saying that because again, I didn't hate it. I enjoyed the ones that I watched other than like the dog one. I thought the dog one was super weird and out of place too. But like I wasn't a fan of the VHS series to begin with. Like I liked the first one. I liked the original, like the girl in the hotel room and she's like the weird whatever. And then I think it was two, the zombie one where it was like the party in the park.
I've only seen a handful of them because I did not like number
Yeah.
one. And then once Shudder acquired, because Shudder now pretty much owns the rights to them, I think, or Bloody Disgusting does, which is partnered with
Yeah.
them. Once they started producing them, I would just watch them because they came out every
Hmm.
year. I think the only one that I ever really kind of liked, I think it wasn't there one that like 1985
Yes.
or 83 or
They
something?
did like
And I
80s,
think
90s.
and that one, like, I think it's like, if I remember, there's like a punk band playing a show like in a like a underground crypt or something, and I was like, all right, this is all right. Like,
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, there's scattered ones throughout, but I just don't think they're like a consistent anthology franchise for me that I like look forward to. I mean, I was looking forward to the anticipation of Mike Flanagan, Kate Siegel, just like the lineup. I was like, oh shit, that's stellar. Like this is gonna be fucking good. And again, for the most part, I wasn't like completely let down because I think it's my favorite out of all of them, just because I haven't really like dive that deep into them. But
yeah,
I mean, whatever. There's been worse things that have come out, and there's been clearly better things that have come out.
yeah. I mean, again, I'll watch the next one
Hmm.
because if they're gonna keep pumping them out every October,
Sure.
what the fuck, you might as well give it a try.
Yeah.
But I think that I have a feeling that for horror fans that based on your tastes, these are going to be very hit or miss. Like
Yes.
which movie you're gonna gravitate towards. But we are not talking about that. We're talking about Peach Fuzz.
But okay, I'm gonna sidebar real quick just because we're on this and I want to keep it consistent. But then I have one more thing to say about Peach Fuzz, and then we can go to our next topic. But on Shudder,
We're done with creep tapes.
well,
All right,
no,
whatever.
no, we won't. We're not done. But I just mean like then we'll go on to that because I'll get sidetracked into 6 different things if we don't, or not like, but like
Okay.
just yes. But on Shudder, there's a movie called, I don't know if you've seen it or heard me talk about it, but called WNUF's Halloween Special.
I saw it on there, but I did not watch it. I did not know what the hell it was.
Sam, I'm telling you. Now you liked Late Night with the Devil.
I like Late Night with the Devil. Is this new or old?
Okay, so this is funny because Ghost Watch.
That's what from what I saw in the clip and the description, that's the vibes it was giving off to me. It was like a ghost, and I love Ghost Watch.
Okay, so then this is your wheelhouse, and you need to watch it because I think out of the 3, I think it would go Late Night, WNUF Special, Ghost Watch. But I love Ghost Watch, and you know how much I love Late Night with the Devil. I actually have my Creeporama shirt coming soon with Jack Delroy on it, so I'm super fucking stoked for that. But this one came out 2016, so it's newer, but it's portrayed in the 80s.
Okay, so yeah, so it's got a retro look to it. Because when I saw it, I legit was like, oh, this is like an American version of Ghost Watch that probably came out sometime around the same time. But no, so good on them. It's fooled me.
I'm telling you what, Sam, without any hesitation, it fucking slaps so hard. They have like commercials that are like ingrained to be in that time period that fits so well, and then when everything happens, you're like, it's such a build up. It is like the best build up because you're like, oh fuck, like you're like, oh, and then you're like, oh fuck, oh shit, fuck, and then when it happens, I was so pleased with the ending. I'm like, I fucking love that movie so much. So you need to watch it at some point.
Okay, I mean I mean you sold me already.
Okay,
100%. Like there's no question. Probably my next garage night, when I'm having some beverages, I'll probably throw that on because that sounds fun.
Hell yes, I'm excited.
That sounds right up my alley. And again, it had caught my eye. I just wasn't really sure exactly what it was, but it sounds like I kind of assessed what it probably is kind of close to.
Absolutely, but I had no idea it existed. So when I saw it, I was like, what the hell is this? And then I talked to Matt, and he was like, oh, you'll fucking love it because it's pretty much like Late Night with the Devil, Ghostface Born, or Ghostface, Ghost Watch Born. And I'm like, okay, like sold. And then I watched it, and I fucking love it so much. Yeah, I will like it. But okay, now back to Peach Fuzz. now I can kind of think of a thought for it. But okay, so episode 3, since we both collectively liked that one because that was Jeremy when he was the
best
priest
one,
yes,
by far.
Yes. I thought that one that had me laughing so goddamn hard when he does this. And this is a mild spoiler, so if you have not watched episode 3 or you haven't watched any of the creep tapes, go ahead just like a minute because I won't touch on it too long. But when he's fucking sitting there and Jeremy's like, and then it's like the down angle, and all of a sudden he's just like, and he pops on the screen and fucking screams and scares Jeremy, and he walks forward and he's like, oh, I repent. I didn't mean to do that. I was fucking dying.
To me, what made that one, it's the best episode for me is, again, I'm not getting the creepiness, the deep, the deep-seatedness that I'm getting. So what I want to get out of it is I have to look for different entertainment, and this is a fucking funny episode. And to me, what the funniest part of this episode isn't Mark. It's Jeremy's reactions, and he's such a typical little internet douchebag.
Yes, and that's what adds to it. I look, so I'm like, oh, just fucking kill him. Just fucking do it. And then when everything happens, I'm like, oh, but just the way he fucking, his facial expression when he does the scream, because it's just like from 2, how he just kept popping up and trying to scare her, and he's like, nothing? No? When he did that, and then when he was acting like the fucking priest, oh, I had to rewind it. I rewound it like 3 times. Rosalind's like, come on, just let me have my moment. Let me watch it. But that's my favorite one out of all of them.
It was my favorite as well. It was it kind of took a turn more into a humorous side
Mm-hmm.
than I thought that the first two did.
Yep.
Um, but so I dig it, and if it continues to go in that direction, I might change my opinion on this. Which it does look like. I mean, I saw the preview for the fourth one,
Yeah.
which it looks like he's having someone help him clean up,
Tubby time.
and I'm wondering if it's the murder of Jeremy, actually, because it seems like it's in the same room. So I don't
I
know,
know.
but he's having someone help him clean up a murder, which I'm like, that, you know, you could do some shit with that.
Absolutely. I'm curious to see how it's going to like end, like what cliffhanger they're gonna leave us with. And I'm also super fucking remaining positive that we get a third.
Now, here's the thing, because I don't know, I don't read all the
Mm-mm.
articles. I think I saw the article. I was like, creep tapes, and I sent it to you, or you did it, to,
Yes,
whatever.
yes.
Do we know how many episodes they're doing?
I don't. I think it just said like a limited series. So I'm assuming that if it's every Friday, we'll probably get like maybe 8 to 10 for like the first
Okay.
season. And maybe we'll get like I feel like the response is positive now, and I feel like a lot of people have like built it up. So I'm praying that that kind of equates to a season two, or that they want to do a movie, because I would literally love if we had another creep movie.
Yes, if this, I mean, I want another Creep movie. I, I guess I'm not creative enough because I don't know where the fuck you would go with it. But Mark is a extremely creative person.
Hmm.
I would love to see it because so what after I watched episode 1 and 2 back to back.
Same. Yep.
And I immediately was like, kind of when you're excited for something and then you're like,
Yeah.
and then I immediately threw on Creep 2 and just watched it from beginning to
I love
end.
that.
And like, it, I cannot express how much I mean, I love Creep,
Hmm.
but Creep 2, I, I mean, that's I'm not gonna put it like on like, oh, it's top five or whatever, but like that's a favorite movie of mine. I fucking love that movie,
Same.
and if I could just get some piece of that tension and uneasiness, I would be happy.
Same. And I'm with you too. Of like, I don't want this to turn into a Scream. I don't want to turn into a Halloween by any means. I don't want this to be like him when he's elderly, gray hair, still killing people and like trying to keep up that persona. I want like it to either end and just have it be like just we don't know what happened with him. Like
Yeah,
he
I mean,
could
honestly, if you never made a three, the ending to two is perfect with the
same.
train and everything.
Yes.
Yeah, I also get the impression that I don't. Mark Duplass seems like I mean, he is an extremely creative
Hmm.
person, but he's always out there making something
Yeah.
that's completely different from the thing he did before.
Hmm.
So I also have a feeling that he's not just a horror guy. Like he might, you know, even though the horror fans are probably always like, make another
I
one,
know.
he's like, I got 10 other things I'm working on, so fuck off.
I can only do one thing, but he's just such a
Yes.
fantastic human, and I just love his energy, and I love listening to him talk, and I'm happy that I'm alive in an era with Creep, with Peach
Yeah.
Fuzz, and that we do have some sort of like continuation, and I'm glad that it's getting the recognition it deserves, because like you said, the Creep 2 is one of my favorite movies. Like not just found footage, but favorite movies. And then
Yeah.
you have Creep,
Period.
that's just like one of my favorite found footage movies. If like you want to get technical. And I'm happy that it's here. So
Yeah, no, I mean, Creep to me is one of those movies that every single time that I have recommended it to someone,
hmm.
I've never once gotten a negative reaction. It's across the board. Like my brother fucking loved
Yep.
it. He watched two. Not he's. I mean, sorry, Shudder. He's gonna steal my fucking login so he can watch the show too. But
So sharing is caring. It's all right.
yeah. But yeah, he's like because he couldn't believe it. He's like yeah, but he's like the guy because he doesn't know him. He's like the guy's not in it, right? I'm like no, he's in every fucking episode, and he's like oh shit, like that's cool. I
I love it.
I love this
Me
franchise
too.
and I want it to succeed.
I'm with you. And I'm glad that it's, even though you did not enjoy it, it's still such positive, affirmations about it, positive words about it, because maybe
I will watch every episode.
maybe it'll get better. I know I cannot wait to watch the fourth one.
which is out tonight, right?
Yes, because today is Friday. I keep feeling it's like a weekday or like not the weekend, but 'tis the weekend.
Well, I know we're coming towards the end here, but I thought that we might want to discuss since this is kind of our holiday episode.
Mhm.
This is going to release in December, but kind of covering Thanksgiving too. We
Yes,
got little scheduling issues.
yes.
Um, I thought we might talk some holiday movies, some whether they be horror related, non-horror related, just what are some of the movies that you're going to be watching or already have, because I already popped my Christmas movie cherry this year.
What did you watch?
Oh, so my all-time favorite Christmas movie, without a doubt, is the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Hell yeah,
I love the
I do
Muppets.
too.
Unabashedly, I love probably more than adult man should.
Nope, that's
Uh,
you need to always love them from being a kid until you're an old man. The Muppets are just fantastic.
and I was sick, and it was still November. I was sick on the couch, and I was like, fuck, I just need something that is saccharine sweet for my soul.
Mhm.
And I resubscribed to Disney Plus, and I watched three Muppet movies back to back, but one of them was the Muppet Christmas
I
Carol.
love that. I love it so much. Um, I
What's your go-to? Like, I know we've talked horror Christmas movies. What is your go-to holiday movie? Like, you're gonna watch it this like every year.
well, we already watched it last night, but we watched Home Alone because we had to. We have to. And that movie to this day. I mean, I was 4 when I saw it. Came out in 90. You know what I mean? I fucking love those two movies. I love the second one not as much. I mean, obviously the first one is just iconic, but like I love two, and I think that's actually on or was on while we were eating dinner. I don't know if it's still on now, but there's just something about it. Like John Williams doing the score, just all the performances are iconic. Uh, Harry Mar, it's just you can't beat it, and it's just timeless. Every single year, I could watch it probably a couple times in a year. I could probably even watch it not during the holiday season. I'd still love it.
I mean, everybody loves Home Alone, so I'm with you. I do prefer 1 to 2.
Hmm.
As a kid, though, I prefer two because I
Yes.
feel like 2 is a little more slapsticky.
Mhm.
So I think for a kid, you might gravitate more towards that, while 1 I think is overall like a better film.
Yes, definitely.
But I really enjoyed. Now, I recently heard somebody on a podcast pitch something about Home Alone and what makes it such a good Christmas movie,
Okay.
and is that, and I kind of thought this was interesting, so I want to hear your
Okay.
thoughts. The guy posited that it's Home Alone is a good Christmas movie because it's not a Christmas movie,
Hmm.
because it's not about
It's not
Christmas.
at all.
It's just like it's truthfully, if you remove all of the Christmas elements from the movie and still just have it be a kid doing all the traps and shit, it's still an entertaining movie. And
Right.
I'm like, I think that the Christmas setting is just it's just that extra little bit of sugar on it to make it like feel
It's a
good.
sprinkle of sugar on the top of the amazing cake that it is, and it's true because the events that it could have happened at any time. Could happen on Halloween. Actually, I think a Home
Mhm.
Alone like Halloween. I can't believe that hasn't been done. Where like, I mean, it has been done, but like not in a. What's that one that you said that's
Oh, you talking about the French movie
yes,
that sued John Hughes for Home Alone?
yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's the more horror element. That's Code 1313 Père Noël or Deadly Games, just Deadly
that was
Games.
on, and I actually watched it because I'm like, this is the one that Sam's talking about, and then I
Oh, you watched?
no,
What did you
no,
think?
I didn't watch it because I
Oh,
didn't watch it because so you know when you go on Shudder and it's like the movies are already playing. It was on, and was it on last night? I think it was on last night, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna watch this, and then the dog comes into the picture, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna see if it dies, and then I spoiled it for myself, and I won't say what happened, but obviously you know what happened, and I saw that, and I'm
yeah,
like, I'm not in the mental state to even fucking watch that, so I didn't watch it.
fair enough. If you
It's
ever do
brutal though,
watch it,
right? Like what happens? Because I it says that it happens on screen.
I mean, it's
Oh.
not. I wouldn't say brutal, but it's not my favorite part of the movie. Definitely not.
But
But
if you liked it,
it,
then obviously
I love the
okay,
movie.
I can get past it then.
Like the movie is. I'm not. I wasn't going to bring it up because we already brought it up on a previous Christmas episode.
Mhm.
But like that is a must watch every year for me. I have it on my shelf. It will be getting watched in the next week or two.
Okay.
I fucking love that movie. Deadly Games, check it out if you haven't. It's basically, for anyone who hasn't listened, it's Home Alone before Home Alone. It's in France, except like with like a serial killer instead of goofy robbers, and the kid is like just as much of a sociopath as
Fuck
as
yes.
little McAllister, but yeah, it's a little more intense. I would recommend it highly.
Okay, then I'm gonna watch it. I'll just fast forward the part. But because what we're talking about is like there's a dog in the movie, and clearly
You can,
you
yeah.
can guess what we're because I don't I try to avoid it as much as possible. But like
Yeah.
with that being said, I did
I still fast forward when Grandpa dies. So
yes, and like yeah, oh grandpa, and then with Daddy's head, there was an animal death and a very actually like kind of brutal one to watch and like how everything happens afterwards. And I still love that movie. So I will, and it's the season for it. So I will watch it and then I will report back and let you know how amazing I think it is because I'm sure I'll think it's great. But
I hope so.
I really do think that like a different holiday setting in a Home Alone theme would be fun, especially like a Halloween
I
one.
think Halloween would be super fun. It's
Yes.
just the problem is that the once what's his face why can I not think of him?
Who? Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin stopped doing them. I mean, they just turned to shit after
I
that.
know.
Like I can't watch. I know there's some because they still make them. Like they're still making them. I think there's like 5 of them
There
now,
is five.
and I think there was a TV show on Disney Plus, if I'm not correct, or something like
Yeah.
that. Um, so like the franchise is still out there. I think that a Halloween one for little kids would be fucking right down the
It could be
middle.
so it could be just like ridiculous, but then you could also like have it like for kids, but you could also do like a fucking scary variation of it and have it be like a I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just like a normal like a I don't know. We'll have to discuss that at a later a later time, but definitely the Home Alone movies are a staple. I love Scrooged.
Scrooge is
Yep.
great. Yep.
And the Nightmare or Nightmare for Christmas. The Grinch. You got to watch The Grinch.
Now, are we saying the animated one from like the I want to say 60s,
60s.
or are we talking about the Jim Carrey one?
I actually love every single Grinch variation. I love the older one with Boris Karloff. I love the
Hmm.
one with Jim Carrey. And I also really like the one with uh Benedict Cucumber.
Is that the newest animated
I
one?
love that one.
Is old Cucumber Patch in that
Oh
one?
yes, because he's the Grinch, and then Tyler the Creator did the music for it.
Oh, see, I didn't see that one.
Ooh, I love it.
I think I just and I love animated movies. We've gone over that.
Mhm.
All right, maybe I'll have to give that a watch if it's on one of the streaming services. But I'm with you. I like the Jim Carrey one
Yeah.
too, and then obviously, and I love the original animated one because it's only like 42 minutes, so
Yes.
you're like in and out.
Perfect. That's our go-to Christmas Eve movie.
Yeah.
We always watch that Christmas Eve before Ross goes to bed, and we'll do like we always get her like a present with like pajamas, a hot cocoa packet, popcorn, and then like before we used to buy her DVDs, like Christmas DVDs, but we just do the
Mhm.
pajamas now and just watch whatever's streaming.
Awesome.
So
Do you have? I want to throw one out here for you. What we'll go back to the positive in a minute,
mhm.
but do you have a Christmas movie that you just think is kind of like, ugh, like I can't get into it, like overrated or
Oh
you know?
God, what is an? I mean, is it blasphemous to say it's a Wonderful Life?
No, I don't. Not at all. I mean, nobody gave a shit about it when it came
I was
out. That's for.
I was gonna say everyone like all you hear about is A Beautiful Life, and I've tried to watch it, and I'm just like I don't really see like what the appeal is of it.
I mean, it's not for me either. I definitely can see that. I mean, it is one of those movies that, like, when it came out, it bombed. Nobody gave a fuck about it,
Right.
and then it went into like they lost. They just like I think they didn't even basically once it went into syndication where like it was free,
Mhm.
whatever that, I can't think of the word for it. But then they just aired it all the fucking time. And then it just over the years built into this thing that people were like, oh yeah, Christmas, like
Okay, so I'm looking at movies now, okay? And I'm just gonna like cliff note some. Ready? Gremlins, thumbs up. Love.
that's my second favorite Christmas. That's my favorite non
Ho-
Christmas movie.
yes, Charlie Brown Christmas.
Great.
Um, okay, so now we're getting into one that could be extremely. I'll probably have people be like, "What?" That I don't care about. I'm
Let's
scared.
hear
I'm
it.
scared.
I wonder if it's going to be mine because I want to see if we tie on this. It'll be so
A
funny.
Christmas Story.
Yes, yes, we are. I love that we are partners on this.
I saw it when I was going because I'm like, when you asked that, I'm like, fuck. I know there's like a big one that I just really just don't even give a fuck about. It's that one.
100%. Yes. Thank you.
Yes. But Greg loves it, and I'll watch it because I like we kind of went off a horror kick and we did a deep dive into Captain America Civil War or Winter Soldier. We watched the Penguin series. That was I love that one.
I've heard it's good. I heard someone described it to me as Sopranos in a comic book world, and I'm like, well, that could be fun.
And also, if you're going to watch it, watch the Batman before because it literally goes right in. And we did it like we watched it 4 episodes in, but the Batman also, chef's kiss. I fucking love the Batman.
Yes. Yeah.
But back to
I've never seen it. It's 3 hours long, and I'm like, ugh.
okay. I will say this: split it up, but it's so good. And I dogged it. I'm like, oh, Rob Pattis, whatever, fucking Edward or whatever his name is from Twilight. I'm like, no way he can be Batman. He was amazing. Paul Dano as the Riddler. I will die on this hill is one of the best renditions of the Riddler I've ever seen.
I mean, so here's the thing. All the pieces are there for me to enjoy it. I actually do like Arpats. I mean, I can even watch the Twilight movies, not basically watch them ironically, because they're ridiculous.
Yes.
But I think he's a good actor, so I like him. I like Paul Dano. I love Matt Reeves, the director.
Yes.
One of the best working today, and like that bigger box office fucking type style. It's entirely two things that have kept me from watching it. I am so fucking superheroed out that I don't give a shit. And it's 3 hours long. And that's my issue is that I'm just like, and here's, what if it sucks? And I wasted 3 hours or like, not, what if I don't like it?
Right.
Like
it's not your cup of tea, but I will say it does not feel, and I know it's not supposed to be this way, or maybe it is. It does not feel like a superhero movie because Matt Reeves' take on it is so dark. It feels almost like a horror movie. I
heard it has like a lot. I've heard like I can't think today. I've heard like
your brain's
that it's
still in Wicked.
It's close to like 7 is what I've
heard. Yes, and Greg and I were discussing that because there's a couple shots in this movie that gave me like goosebumps because it's just shot so fucking beautifully, but it's like really intense situations, and I'm like, that reminds me of da 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 from 7. You know what I mean? Like very similar, very, very parallel. It parallels nicely, and it does not feel like a superhero movie. So I don't know if that gives you any hope, but all I'm saying is maybe like anticipate turning it on and just say, I'm going to watch 1 hour and a half in one sitting. And if I like it, then I'll finish it. If I don't, it's just 1 hour and a half of my time. But I think that like the opening scene, there's an opening scene and it's just,
maybe it'll hook me.
I think I might've been one of those assholes that, I mean, this was after like way after it came out, but I did that as one of my like favorite 30-second movie. Cause to me, it felt like a horror movie. Like the scene felt like a horror movie.
I mean, I could easily, I don't think I've ever told you this. Deanna is Batman obsessed.
Ooh, I love that.
She has like her whole leg is tattooed with Batman shit. She has Batman shit all over the house. So I'm sure that if I was like, hey, do you want to watch this? I'm sure that would not be I wouldn't get much of an argument to watch that.
That makes me love Deanna even more. I did not know that she loves Batman like that. So hell yes.
Obsessed with Batman.
And I think you guys would be into it.
Now, real quick, I want to say something about Christmas Story. I hate it.
Same.
It's I hate I again, it's the same story as It's a Wonderful Life. Nobody gave a shit when the movie came out. Then whatever Hallmark or whoever the fuck it was bought it cheap and then just started doing the 24-hour marathon, and then it just brainwashed people into being like, it's a good movie.
This is the best thing ever. And I'm like, what?
It's extra bad for me, Jordana. You know why? So I live, I always say outside Chicago just because that's easier. I live in what's called Northwest Indiana, which is a little piece that goes right up to Chicago and about 30 minutes outside Chicago, but we're still technically in Indiana. And Indiana hates us because we politically are more like Chicago, and Chicago hates us because we're from Indiana. We're fucking terrible. We're hated by everybody. Yeah. They call us rats. We're called the region rats. Anyway, that's legitimate.
I love it.
But that movie takes place in Hammond, Indiana, which is in this area, and my mom grew up in Hammond, and every year they throw some fucking crazy festival for the movie itself, like, and they have the stars of the movie come and like
the lamp.
It's every year, but I can't avoid it, and I'm sorry, it's a bad movie.
It did nothing for me. And Greg, he'll be like, oh, I want Roz to sit down and watch it with me. And I want her to love it. I want them to have that. I want her to share that excitement. And like I said, I'll watch it with him. I will not, because he is a trooper and he watches shit for me, with me, that I'm sure he would.
Sometimes you I bit the bullet on Wicked today. So.
Yes, you get it. You understand that back and forth. But I can't. And I told them before, his family, because when I started going over there for like Thanksgiving and like the holidays, I said I've never watched A Christmas Story, and I'm not even. Everyone was like quiet, and they just looked at me. I'm like, yes, like what? And that's one of the most iconic movies ever. Blah blah blah. So I watched it, and everyone's like laughing, and at the end they're all smiling at me, and I'm like, what did I miss something? Because I don't like this at all. Like I thought it was going to be a lot similar to like The Sandlot because of like the dialogue,
like the way he's like talking about like
everything that's happening. No,
the narration that goes over.
I just thought it was extremely annoying, and I'm like, I can't wait for this to be done.
And everybody in the movie's unlikable to me. I don't like any of them. They're all mean. Like I just genuinely am like, this is not good. Like I always, so like, I'm just so happy that you agree with that. And I do feel a little bit like Scrooge because, when that fucking festival happens in my town, I'm always like, I
can see,
like, get a better movie.
You can see you two being like, all Grinch, hate, no, like totally. But so, is there any other holiday movies that you just don't really give a shit about, other than?
That's really the big one.
Yes.
I'll say there was one that I hated for so long, but I've changed my mind on it. That was Jingle All the Way.
I was about to say, if you say Jingle All the Way, because I showed that to Roz and she was like, I love it. And I actually enjoyed it watching it with her because I didn't really care for too much. But then when I watched it with her, I'm like, it's actually it's not bad, but it's not.
It's fun.
It's not
like, so I hated it just because there was a reason. When I was little, I had it on VHS because I was a little kid, a little boy, and I had every Arnold movie on VHS, But what happened is my parents had a weekly card game night with their friends, and their friends had a little girl who was a couple years younger than me, and she loved the movie. And every week they would come over, and it didn't matter if it was December or January or February or March or April. So every week she would come over and request to put the movie on, and my parents would put it on. And I'm like, I am so fucking sick and tired of watching this fucking movie. I would hide the VHS when I knew that they were coming over. And then my mom would be like, Sam, you better go find that fucking movie.
And you're like, I don't know where it is. As you're like sitting on it.
And she's like, I know you know where it is, because she knew how much I hated it.
I love that.
But in recent years, I've rewatched it. The pain is gone,
Mhm.
and it's fun. I mean, it is
It's
insane. It's an
crazy.
insane
Fucking
movie. Phil
Sinbad.
Hartman's hilarious in it, though.
Yes. Oh, R.I.P. Phil Hartman.
R.I.P. But I mean,
Damn.
I I subscribe to a page that's it's just called "Put Those Cookies Down Daily," and every day they just post the scene of him going nom 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 nom, and then put the cookie down. And it's
Yes.
every day it pops up in my feed, and I get a kick out of it.
I love that.
How about you? Are there any others that you maybe disliked or turned on, or even just a couple more favorites? We got a few minutes left
I
here.
want to say I really enjoy. I, okay, I don't love Elf like everyone does. Everyone like
Mhm.
creams their pants over it, and I look. Will Ferrell is hilarious, and it is a good movie, but I don't hold it to that standard like everyone does. Like it's a good holiday movie. Like I'll put it on if there's nothing else, because I definitely would put on A Christmas Horror Story over Elf. I mean, who doesn't want to see
Okay.
fucking Krampus and Santa go at it? But like, I don't know. It's not like I'd rather watch Scrooge or any of the Grinch movies, or like the Santa Claus. I fucking love the Santa Claus.
I'm glad. I thought you were about to. The
No,
Santa
I would
Claus
love
is
it.
one of my favorite. That's a must watch for me. We usually end up watching all three, which the the quality.
Yeah.
It's a roller coaster.
Yes.
But we usually will end up watching all three over the Christmas season.
And you can't go wrong with that. But it's not that it's like a mid for me for Elf. Not mid, but like it's just not like my go-to. It's not like I can't recite line like every single line from it. Like, I hope you find your dad. Like
I
that's hilarious.
I love that where fucking that character came from. Hope to find your dad.
Bye, buddy.
I'm with you though. I've only seen it a handful of times.
Yeah.
It is. I recognize that it is really good. But I think I think a lot has to do probably with the age I was. I was older when that movie came out, so like it didn't. I think to maybe kids today, or not like maybe teenagers or 20-year-olds today might feel that way because they probably saw it when they were younger. And I do think that it is, as far as I think it's earned its place in like the Christmas movie Hall of Fame. And I think it is probably the most modern movie to do that. Because I can't think of another Christmas movie that came after that that's had as much of an impact as that did.
You're right. Because even just saying that, nothing like came to mind where I'm like, oh my God, that's like a house favorite, or that's like a common movie that you hear. Elf literally is like the only one.
I think it's like it's the most recent one that really like broke through to that next level.
Yes. And it's again, it's not like I despise it. I'll watch it. I think it's funny. It's just there's other movies that I would gravitate towards than that.
Absolutely. I'm more likely to throw on something again, and it probably just because that's where we grew up with. I'm more likely to throw on something from like the 80s or 90s. Probably that's like my sweet spot of Christmas movies.
Same.
But
Me too. And horror, like Krampus.
Movies in general, to be honest, I'm more likely to throw something on from the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Like doesn't have to just be like in general, I'm probably going to throw something on from the 80s and 90s. But
that's the same theme for me. Like Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. Like come on now. Yep. Garbage Day. Yeah, like you can't. See, now that ask reciting lines from that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a classic there. Black Christmas, obviously,
yes.
That's an all-time favorite for me.
Santa
Jaws, all-time favorite for me. I mean, yeah, there's so many good. The weird part about it is, and I think we did this, is that there's so many good horror movies that take place around Christmas.
Yes.
Obviously, we have one has entered the conversation this year that we loved, and that will be getting watched probably every Christmas now.
I'm so excited. I had to like tell. So this girl, her name's Alicia, and she's pretty much my mom. She was like my second mom, but now she's pretty much like my stand-in mom. And she was like, what do you guys want for Christmas? And I'm like, well, nothing. So then we get into conversations of like, blah, 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 blah. And then I get into Art the Clown, and she's like, who the fuck's that? Who is that? I'm like, Alicia. So then I tell her like I give her like the the origin story, the background of everything, and then I sent her some stills because I told her I'm like pretty much it's like Mr. Bean, but he like rips you from the vagina to your head and just splits you in half with a hacksaw. And she's like,
Oh
Jordana,
my
what the
god.
fuck?
I love that
It's
description.
true.
Oh, somebody please put Art's face on Mr. Bean and just see what
Because
happens.
the whole bar scene is so reminiscent of Mr. Bean. Because remember how he gets excited over his teddy bear and he like makes the O face and he's all like, oh, that reminds me so much of Mr. Bean. So I sent her like the picture of him on Santa's lap and she's like, that's a no for me because she doesn't like anything scary.
Gotcha. Yeah, probably not.
But like I'm
But that,
so fucking pumped to watch that. I'm gonna watch that Christmas Eve.
that's awesome. That's yeah. So that's up there. But there's a lot of good Christmas horror movies, some that you even forget about that like are even related to Christmas.
Yeah.
They sneak their way in.
Hmm.
Um, but unless you have any others to bring up here, I know we're kind of coming down to that hour 30 mark.
Hmm. I have none, but I actually like think it'd be fun to do like more of like a Christmas themed, like it just in general, like Christmas, maybe music, and maybe we can have something to, like released towards the end of December, like a bonus episode, if you will.
I'm 100% down. Just if we're able to get that to make that happen, I will definitely do it. That's if you can squeeze it in, Jordana, I
Well,
will.
I changed my availability at work because I was like, this is fun.
Ready to punch a 16-year
Yeah.
old.
Sam, but like I don't, I would never think to speak to anyone like that in general, especially someone that I'm just meeting at a fucking register to be like, why the fuck, bitch, I didn't fucking make the sale. I didn't make the fucking products. Like, I don't know why you're taking your pent up aggression at me. Like, go fuck yourself. I just, I had to. I'm like, I can only do these days and I can only do these times and I can't go past it. And I literally just changed it because I know like not literally just, but like I've changed things. So I can have some more
I
flex.
love the hand.
So I have a little bit more flexibility. So it will happen because I really, this has got me so excited to talk about like holiday music, holiday, like even like foods, traditions, like,
I would love to do like a non-horror, just
yes.
all normal Christmas stuff.
Yes. Cause I mean, like I could talk about horror Christmas themes day and night, but I think that we can do a lot. We could cover a lot with it.
I would say, you know what I would say, just as a maybe a sneak preview here, something that if we get this episode, what about great Christmas episodes of television?
Oh
Because
my
there are.
God.
Do you know what? So now that I got Disney Plus back, what I've been watching, I'm on season 6 of it, I think,
Well,
which tells you how fucking much I've been watching it. I am loving rewatching The Simpsons, and they have some great Christmas episodes.
that we could do Family Guy. We could do, oh my, we could do so much. You know what I watched last night? And this is, again, such a sidebar and it has nothing to the holidays, but just talking about TV. I watched Perfect Strangers. I watched like 3 episodes.
Oh, Balky,
Balky.
yeah,
I
from Mykonos.
Yes, and just like the fucking opening sequence and just like the title card and the song, how much I miss 80s, early 90s TV shows and how uncohesive but cohesive cousins are. It's just,
Oh yeah, 100%. That is.
I love Belky.
It's. I don't know if I'd even consider it a good
It's
show,
not.
but it's not a good show, but I like it.
Yes.
I'm watching it and I'm actively like, I could see why this isn't revered as much as like a Cheers or something, but I'm still into it.
I watched it as a kid because I'm pretty sure my mom like loved it. And I watched it and then just like I'm not even kidding you. I watched the 3 episodes. I was cracking up and I'm like, this is so stupid. Like, why am I even laughing at this? But I enjoyed it. But yes, I think that we should do Christmas episodes, Christmas music, like what we want to like maybe something that's not in the Christmas wheelhouse that we'd like to see, like a show, an artist covering, like doing something. I think that we could.
Yeah, I 100%. If you could make it happen, Jordana, I would love to do a all we'll call it the normie episode for Feature Creatures. It's going to
Yes.
be all normal shit we're going to be talking about. I mean, normal-ish. I'm sure we'll find a way to make it weird,
Yeah,
but
of course, because
uh,
that's our little sprinkle of our own originality on it, is just making shit fucking weird and entertaining for everyone to listen to and to watch.
yep. But other than that, I think that is going to bring us to an end for this episode. And thank you guys for listening. Like, rate, subscribe, do share, do all that fun shit. We love you guys. Have a happy holiday if you do celebrate.
Yes.
You got anything to say, Jordana? You want to say bye bye?
Everything that he said, and make sure you do all of that. And thank you so much for still tuning in and listening to us. And we will see you guys next time.
All
All
right.
right.
Bye
Bye.
bye.